What is going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
And this is the previews, everyone's favorite part of the movie. This week, we went ahead and saw probably the most, I would say, actually, the best action series of all time.
Are you
John
crazy?
Wick 3.
Are you out of your mind?
Parabellum, okay? Or excuse me, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Zach, is this the best franchise of all time or the best action franchise of all time?
Well, neither.
You are wrong, sir.
No, I am not. I will just start off this by saying I will say there's one action franchise that is way better than this franchise. Mission Impossible is way better action franchise than this movie at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Completely forgot about Mission Impossible. So. Okay. I'm gonna give it to John Wick. I'm gonna stand tall, okay? I'm giving it to John Wick.
Okay, well, this movie stars Keanu Reeves as John Wick.
Of course.
We also have Halle Berry coming back in the picture, which was definitely good to see her. Then we have Lawrence Fishburne, which was awesome to see him and Keanu Reeves on screen again for the first time since The Matrix.
Yep.
And then we have Ian McShane.
With these movies, the reason I continue to love them so much is they keep one-upping each other.
They did. They definitely did in this franchise for sure.
This one, woo doggy! It was a perfect action movie.
Keanu Reeves came at full force with this movie.
Yeah, and with the first movie, it's very point A to point B. I like the second movie a little bit more because I like the world building. And then this one continued to build on that world. You didn't see just one Continental, you saw multiple Continentals, which I thought was really cool. And especially it being like, you know, most of this movie takes place at Casablanca. It's not really a spoiler. But yeah, there was a Continental there, which I would have never thought of hey, you know what, real estate, guess what we're buying? Casablanca, let's go.
Yeah, because in the first one, it was just saying oh, you need to sympathize with Keanu Reeves because, I mean, his dog died, which I'm not saying is not sad, but I wanted a little bit more. And I didn't get that from the first one. But yeah, it's really cool to see this, I could say, Assassin's Guild just being continuously built upon. And it was really fun to watch.
With these films, right, and even with action films, you want just a great lead character. And I know Keanu Reeves really kind of hit a slump before these movies came out. Of course, everybody remembers him from The Matrix, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I remember him from Parenthood because I love that movie.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he is a very believable assassin. Everyone's scared of John Wick in these films. They're terrified. And Keanu Reeves is one of the very few people that I understand why you're terrified of him.
Now, just when I rewatched the first one, that was a joke that I couldn't get enough. It's a great, consistent joke that's been going on throughout this entire series. Just this bad guy, this badass bad guy, just being, who did this? I'm gonna have his head, I'm gonna kill his family. And it was John Wick. He's like, oh, okay, then I might have to second guess this. And it's a great, consistent joke.
Of course, Halle Berry played Sophia in this one. She had a good part. I thought her dogs, this is a dog lover movie.
It definitely is.
It definitely is. There's a joke in the film, and it's not really a spoiler, but one of the characters says he's a cat person, and I'm like, you son of a bitch!
Yeah. Sarah McLachlan didn't want me to get me a dog as much as I do now after seeing this movie.
Now the action set pieces. What did you think of those?
Oh, they were great. From the second one was where I first realized that I really liked the big fluorescent bright sets. Like in the second one, there's the mirror part, and there's similar set like that, and it's really cool visually. Because I have to give a lot of props to Chad Stahelski, who is the director of this movie, because yes, it is these big, bright rooms, but if you don't know how to direct it well, it's just a blank room. And he's able to use these great lighting and great camera tricks to really captivate you.
These movies are very brutal, but they're not brutal in a sense. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did have to look away one part of this movie, and I don't get squeamish, but there's one particular part right in the beginning I had to look away from. But other than that, these films are so brutal, but they're filmed in such a great way where it's so fast-paced, where your brain doesn't really focus on that one particular death. And I give a lot to Chad. He really knocks it out of the park with all three of them, and he really knows how to shoot an action scene. He gets the characters, the drama correct, and he just focuses on it. And I feel like a lot of these action scenes, they're filmed so up close, and that's what I think I like about them the most. They're not these big extravagant wide shots. You're right there, you know. You see the sweat on everybody, you see the blood splattering across the walls, and it really takes a lot, because I mean, we're already 3 films into this series. The deaths just keep getting more and more unique.
If there's, I guess, the downfall I have from it, I feel like the story still isn't quite there for me to put it among the best. Like I mentioned, Mission Impossible, I feel like the characters and story in that movie are definitely a lot better. I mean, but this movie is there not for the story. It is there for the action and having a great time. So that's why I can't really quite put it on top.
I respect your opinion, but I disagree with it, Zach, wholeheartedly. I think with this film, they knew exactly what they wanted to get into it from the get-go, and they ride with it. They don't try to go ahead and, I guess, you know, put unnecessary, let's say, like romances in it to spice it up a little bit. They know what they want to do, and they go full force with it. And I will agree with you on this. I felt like this particular movie, I loved it just as much as the other ones. This one, I felt like the middle dragged a little bit. Just a little bit. Not enough for me to, I guess, not be taken away from it, but there were a couple moments I had to, like, you know, stretch a little bit, because I'm like, this is getting a little long. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, even though with its faults. So,
yes.
Yeah, so overall, what you thinking?
I'm going to give it 4 judo chops out of 5.
4, wow. I'm giving 4 Louis XIII bottles out of 5. Well, that's it for this week, Movie Maniacs. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell icon so you get notified of every single review that we go ahead and put up. And then next week, we will be back with Guy Ritchie's Aladdin.
I'm nervous.
Oh, we're both a little nervous. So stay tuned next week, and we'll see you on the previews. Have a good one.